We got beamed all the way down to 1. Our worst fears could be coming true, especially as they see the tags go and he boxes up with only 1 box, no duo in sight. Like you said, he's got to take this 1v2 now.
He's going to go for a launch pad, which is one of the worst and most desperate things you can do when you're a solo player on 1 HP. The AD will be there, the death slam too. But a point is a point. You don't want to leave it behind. Hard decision.
And Storm Surge is looming, so they got to get damage. Whether they go into zone, are they going to find anything once they get there? They did get a couple tags in front of them. But when you're in these Sunday finals, especially now 3 seasons basically of difficult,
we're trying to stay as updated as possible on it. That means there will be a little bit of transitionary lag. Right now, CRR is going to be going down to this fight, sending it as well. These guys are confirmed landing agency with that drum gun in CRR's inventory. So near the home turf, going for a box fight. We saw a third party happen before from Alec. He's still in the area. I think those are the brown arrows that are on the right side of that mini map at the bottom side of the screen. Looks like they will start to disengage though, and already back at agency.
Week 1 after their crazy finals performance. But it's funny that a finals performance actually adds to that and doesn't detract from it. You would expect all of those 4-game stretches to come in the opens and semi-stages. For them, it's in the semifinals and Sunday final. That's crazy.
Top tier duo, man, and they don't stop. I mean, it's kind of been a theme where some duos can only really perform or do their best when the lobby size is also big, when the skill gap in the lobby is very, very close, and the skill level is very, very high. When we watch these guys in squads, they were like the mid-ground duo, one of the hardest, or mid-ground squad, one of the hardest places to operate, and they did it nicely and fine week 1 at least every single time.
Please, production, I need one of those. Let me get one of those. Oh, they are hard trolling this week, Solary. Every week it's either ads and now it's...
Is there a guy up on that thing?
We can't dodge it, man.
Memes. We can't escape.
There's no Twitch turbo for that one.
Is getting closer. We saw them use their pad after rotating on foot last time. I don't actually think they have one. And because they left so late now, they're going to get the focus of... Yeah, they definitely did. I thought they were just going to go a little closer because they needed to go. This is the meta now. You kind of just wait for the community to give you guys a path in. And if they don't, then sometimes you just get screwed. But the gamble does not pay off in this case. I think they will make it in, but at what cost? The cost is a lot of minis, even some health dealt because of the storm, and probably a weaker position out of everybody's spot in the zone. Astro might actually almost get 1-ticked from the zone.
Do you have any?
It's all good. Kiriachi and Letwick now, they are ahead in delay. He has some floppers, but Letwick is down. Kiriachi has to clutch for himself. He finds a pad, but he's got to break this so that he can get the full one. So much damage done. He's got to back off. Oh, he gets close to height. He obviously doesn't want that. A player actually catches him, causes him to trip up a little bit. Here's the flopper. Now he has to play with no zone plays possible. And 35 people, still no placements. He wants at least that first placement threshold to make this worthwhile.
Going to be a solo though, and this time it's not going to be near the 9th zone. It's going to be all the way back when you need a teammate to kind of maneuver, get these team tag shots down as well. Kiriachi moves through, changes layers, but is finding his way in really kind of in a safe manner.
I love that he saw there was a path inside through old builds, but something that you got to be careful with is how congested it looks too. A player in his box, he opts to not go for that and lands into 3. And that's the end, I think, for Kiriachi, but he turns and takes out Bobo, but not before taking him out, and his teammate comes over. That 16th place, and then Astro and Hardfind end in 15th place, so at least they got the points. But it looks like a game with no points, or at least the early game points from Kiriachi and Letwick. They might maintain that first place, but by how much is the question. Kinstar 4ZR is still looking good, though.
With 49 people left alive, the one thing Kiriachi and Letwick had were 7 eliminations. Now, although that looks really wild, looks really big, that was on low ground. The high ground team didn't get too many, ended up in 2nd. Now it's kind of up to anyone else to just kind of raise this entire lobby, get as many points as possible. If there is a minigun on height, they have such a big opportunity to steal first place in this race.
pour se sauver. Donc je suis pas sûr que ça va vraiment voir. En tout cas, on verra bien dans la suite de cette game.
Kinstar looks for shots in front of him.
Ça passera pas.
We see a replay of their launch on the right side as well. And it was actually a fail, so they actually lose one launch pad, have to use a grappler. And now we're going to be moving in on their last launch together, hopefully, but they are kind of separated. 4-0 moving up with the grappler, leaves Kinstar behind, and now he's in a very tough position. Gets a nice impact, though, by himself. Gets kind of crunched down, but has that launch to kind of find his way back. That's a huge refresher for his mats as well. Gets one more flopper out of that deal, too. And still is holding on to that launch pad. The patience from Kinstar is insane.
Find Scram, and now they were splits, but I think for good reason. They needed to find a good lair. I don't think 4ZR was on one at all. Kinstar now on low ground, does not have the grappler to work with, but he still has Sky's AR. He can make it happen, especially with this purple pump. You saw him make the work on Scram. Now up he tries to go because he needs to. Does it bounce back? No, it goes forward. He still has 3 floppers, and now it's the time to take them.
Yep, now it's that zone play. Has to be very careful because there's so many other people in here too. Somehow, sometimes though, more shambles than he is. One more flopper left, 5 seconds of extra time. Now has none, 10 to get in the zone, to get his refreshes, 200 mats. He can still survive. Has that launch pad too. Has to use it probably this zone because as soon as the zones close, the tighter and tighter it gets, the launch harder to pull off. Height is a little bit more aware. He might just send it now, but has to be careful for the beam. It's a big 110 and the finish. Kinstar finding it by himself. That's on Aqua too.
And the elimination instantly, so Stompy down. They did get a couple placement thresholds. I can't see it because it's blocked by Kinstar's camera. But regardless, moving in. No more mats, 13 players alive. We've seen crazier things, but I think right now, based on the layer that he's at, he's not going to find anything central in that zone. Nothing covering him. He does get the tag up above. But so many players, yes, the full edits, the full half wall is going to clean that up, and it's the drum gun, so it could be Nitro and CRR unless somebody picked it up. I don't remember their skins quite yet. With one player to find, so 2v1 from I don't know whose stream this is.
I think maybe Magnus's stream, because that's the name on the face cam. It has to be. We get thrown though. Minzo moving forward with 25, so pushing himself all the way up, and it's Scully who's going to be there by himself. And now with Analyx that we saw going down, Nate's going to be in a clutch position. Make the beast very low, and Tayson has height control with Janice, and they keep it the whole way through.
And you saw Kura, which was one of the teammates of Magnus, or the teammate of Magnus. Savin's still alive in that top 5. He takes out Nate right after that threshold. Minzo picks up another one. Janice and Tayson just kind of chilling up on heights, waiting for everybody to thin themselves out before moving down and going places. Here's a big tree, not farmed. He's going to get a lot of wood out of that, and that goes a long distance in these final moments of the game.
Final they are. 3 duos left, 5 people left alive, so one person is, or 2 people are a duo. One, I think the solo gets knocked out, that's Minzo. Now at 2v2, Janice has height, but I think Tayson's the one with the RPG. He's down by himself, box fighting in a 2v1, takes down Mick the Beast. Then we have the top-down view of Janice, actually getting some mats to hold height. Gonna be looking down with the spray, not sure who has that RPG we saw all the way at the very end. It's gonna be Tayson popping up a 50 shield. These guys are just getting prepared for the final fight. The drop down is there. The harpoon's available. The bounce back makes things so ominous, so eerie. He actually harpoons a golden RPG plus 12 rockets from Storm just to finish out the game and not give this man on low ground a chance or a morsel of that victory royale.
Yeah, but what does Kura have? Does he have some floppers? Does he have something? Because they're letting this go without really pressuring at all. And if he finds himself a hole and that he can get right back in and be safe with, Kura might be able to out-heal them, because I don't see anything in Janice's inventory. But no, it's going to be a full fight. 1v1. Tayson takes out Kura in those final moments. 13 points for them, and they're back. Set up. Here it is. The leaderboards. Top 10. It's actually Magnus and Minzo who pushed themselves up to 27 points. I got to find out how many elims they got that game, because it's ridiculous. 6 and the 3rd place, plus 7 in the first game with the 4th place. And then Nitro and CRR, for the first time ever in FNCS duos, do we see them at the top 10 in a game of Sunday finals. 24 points off the backs of 2 6th places in a row. 10 elims for the entire squad in that one.
I see people in chat saying that CRR popped off in that low ground, 9 kills individually by himself. We'll get a fact check on that afterwards, a possible replay of it as well. One thing that's cool to note, Janice and Tayson, although they won game 2, are only going to be in 7th place with 13 points. Now, we saw that pattern in semis. People do so well, then start to dwindle down. Could this be a repeat if they don't have another win, another big game? Because 3 eliminations with a victory just does not seem like enough.